Hey peeps, we are back. We were talking about Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 12. Before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So this whole episode was just a whole bunch of mess. It really was. Giselle and Robin tried to gaslight people, inviting people over to her yard. I mean, it was just a lot going on. But anyway, let's just get into it. We first see Giselle standing out in her front yard. She's got all these construction people there, and she's working on her vision for that house. And, you know, I don't like to down people. I don't like to talk about people. I appreciate that she is, enjoying her home. I appreciate that she is a single mom and she is working to the bone to pay for her home. But I don't see the vision. You know, later in the episode, they showed a flashback of what the house looked like when she first purchased the home. And I thought, it looked better then. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Then later on Watch What Happens, Robin said that she really wished Giselle's house all matched the same material. She said the West Wing is not made out of the same material as the rest of the house. It's just true. I mean, I really hate it. Mia said that somebody should have reached out to Chip and Joanna Gates, and I think so. Good luck with that, Giselle. So Giselle says that she's going to invite all the girls over to her house so that they could, introduce the Reasonably Shady podcast. And then she sends this extremely shady invite. And then she thinks that there's nothing wrong with the invite. It wouldn't have been anything wrong with the invite if they would have been in on the joke, but they weren't. So it did seem as if you were saying that some of these ladies are friends and others are haters. It was just, a little bit odd. And the truth is there are some people that don't like Giselle, but they are not hating or jealous. But then she makes this real childish comment about not allowing Wendy or Karen to go into her house to use the restroom. And I thought, so you're going to have these people trek all the way out to your home where you have construction people beating and pounding, pulling and driving nails and everything else, measuring stuff in the outside with all the bugs, the fleas, the ticks, the mosquitoes and gnats. And you are also offering drinks and food, but they cannot use the restroom. That's just childish and ridiculous, and it makes no sense. But what I was excited about was Robin finally stood up for rights, and she said, I cannot co-sign that. Giselle, it's not okay for you to have them over and not allow them to use your restroom. Not only that, you had just made up with Wendy and Karen. You're childish. You really are. And then she makes this comment about, well, she better let Karen in because as old as she is, she's probably wearing Depends. I believe there's only a 6 or 7 year difference between Karen and Giselle. Ma'am, Karen is doing pretty daggone good. Okay, she's doing pretty good, and according to Karen, Giselle allegedly made some comment, well, at least she owns her home. And Karen says, well, I'm glad you do because who else wants this? I mean, who wants that house? Girl, grow up. Well, the La Dame Home Essential fragrance line or whatever is ready. Karen has the 3 wicks on deck, okay? And she wants to share the 3 wicks with the...
Into like home fashion.
Love
and
that.
she showed me a candle, and it's really a nice candle. I'm retail ready, but I think a great start for her is where she's going with e-commerce because she's got to brand herself.
There is no real comparison between what Wendy's doing and I am doing with the candle. I respect Wendy choosing the 1 wick. I got the 3 wick.
Karen. Now listen, I absolutely adore you, but you have got to stop throwing this shade at Wendy. I mean, seriously, you keep on bringing up that this woman's candle is only 1 wick. Knock it off. I tell you what, you better get ready. Get ready for, my 4 wig. I don't have a 4 wick, but I tell you what, if I ever do decide to launch a candle line, I am going to have 4 wicks. And I'm going to make sure that Karen knows about it. I'm just saying. This is crazy to me.
Junk call.
Oh, sure, it's a junk call.
That's what it says.
See, women are hard up for a good man.
What
Let me
you
see.
doing? Why you
Let me
taking
see.
my phone?
Good morning, handsome.
What are you doing?
Calling her back. This is Mrs. Raymond Huger.
Well, why'd you tell me your
And
name?
I just want you to know that Ray and
Don't
I
tell
are
me your name.
heavily into planning our 25th anniversary.
Don't tell her
And
your name.
I said Mrs. Raymond Huger.
You don't need to.
Was she texting you?
She don't know my name. You don't need to be even calling her back.
All right, so hang up.
Now, listen, Karen does not play about Ray, but that was obviously a misdial, a mistext. They had the wrong person. This lady is not trying to talk to Ray. Ray is not talking to anybody but Karen. I mean, even Robin said on Watch What Happens that she is absolutely positive that that was the wrong number. I mean, girl, that was hilarious. Ray was shocked and wanted to know, well, what is it saying? What's going on? He didn't know those people. So Dorothy is at Candace's house, and just the first 2 minutes of seeing Dorothy, I was already ticked. I don't understand her. She's been at Candace's house for 9 days. I'm telling you, when she showed up, I would have told her, Mom, listen, you got 2 days tops, okay? You don't need to be here 9 days. You don't. Her mom's always doing way too much, and I appreciate her asking her mom what she was talking about with Mia, and she tried to act as if she didn't remember. And she tried to act as if she wasn't just out there throwing Candace and her marriage under the bus. That is not what moms do. I tell you what, as I'm...
Chris is running around here being caught in the MGM with men, women, and billy goats at all hours of the night.
Candace, hush.
Then you can ask questions. The town crier here has informed me that Mia asked her if you are being paid.
People just don't understand our relationship. Contract is our marriage certificate and our prenuptial agreement. I have never asked you for a penny. I've never asked you for a penny. You have not paid one bill that ever said Chris Bassett on it.
Okay, so as long as we're fine and y'all have a prenup, I'm good.
You will never see me downing my child. You won't. You won't. You won't hear it. You won't see it. I will not down my child. And I sure won't do it on national TV and for a bunch of women that I know kind of like her, but not really. And I'm definitely not going to down my son's marriage. I'm not going to try to ruin my child's marriage and start talking about it in public. Dorothy does too much. When Candace wants to bring up Ashley's situation with Michael, letting her mom know, pretty much don't talk about Chris, if he's not out at the hotel and slinging, pain everywhere, don't talk about him. I mean, leave Ashley out of this. Why do you always have to go for Ashley? Move on from this, Candace. Personally, I think that Mia was wrong for asking that question, but Dorothy created more problems than Mia. Dorothy absolutely created more problems. She just kept going on and talking about it and talking about it, and Giselle was a part of it too. Mia goes out for ice cream with her mom and her children and her husband, and it's clear that Mia is absolutely just jealous of her sister. Those grandkids love their grandma. They jumped in her arms. They were so happy to see her. Mia is absolutely jealous that her mom spends so much time with her sister and her sister's kids, and she's handling this in a very passive-aggressive way. Don't bring any more stress to your mom. What I think Mia needs to do is seek help. Get some therapy, ma'am, because your mom already working on herself. She is going through enough. She does not need to be a part of a tug of war between you and your sister. And she also doesn't need you to bring up to her every time you see her that you're suffering still from your past as a child. This is something that you may want to go into therapy by yourself about, and then maybe get some group therapy with your mom. But another easy way to handle this situation with your mom and your sister, start setting up play dates for your sister's children and yours. And then your sister can come, your mom can come, and you guys can get together as a real family. You have to start by being open and honest and kind. Now, I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. Get down in the comments, peeps, and let me know. Am I wrong for thinking that Mia is acting out when all she needs to do is just be straight up with her mom and her sister? Just start planning events for your family. That's how families start to blend, work together, get some therapy. She tells us that her mom went to jail and was sentenced to 20 years, but ended up spending 6 or 7 years in jail. I have no idea what it is her mom did, but her mom's got a lot going on. Mia, calm down and just get some help. Karen and Escala do that whole trek out to Wendy's house. Remember, we heard it's about 100 miles away. So when Escala gets there, she said, "You did not tell me you lived in Canada." I mean, seriously. She lives far out, but they were happy to be there to help her with her charity project for educators. You know, a lot of teachers, they will tell you that the budget at school is so low that they have to buy all of their supplies. So I thought this was really, really good that they were getting together to put supplies together for some of these educators. You know, the ladies talk about Mia asking Miss Dorothy the questions. Escala makes a point. She says, "I don't understand why you feel close enough to ask her mom about her marriage." She said, "Don't ever think that you could ask my mom about my marriage or anything, because it's a no-go." And I agree. But the crazy thing is everybody's mom's not the same. You know, some people's mom may not care. They'll talk to you, they'll tell you everything like Miss Dorothy. My mom would have shut her down very nicely. Nicely, she would have let her know that that's not her business and moved on. But Miss Dorothy didn't mind. Wendy lets the girls know that she's going to put a trip together. It's going to be a couples trip for everyone to go to the Eastern Shore, and she's very excited. So Escala wanted to know about Giselle.
Do you think Juan will come?
Based upon history, no.
Well, who's coming for Giselle? Who's going to be her couple?
Her luggage.
Girl, peeps. I laughed so hard. I mean, that wasn't nice. That wasn't nice, and we usually try to be nice over here. But it was funny and true. Who was she gonna bring? You know, Wendy wanted to know if she was gonna rent a man, lease a man, purchase a man. That was Wendy. I didn't say that. That was hilarious and wrong. So we get to Giselle's reasonably shady party, and I asked myself, if I was in the middle of construction and I had construction workers and construction material everywhere, would I have a party? Maybe I'd have a party, just not there. Robin said that she wanted to have the party somewhere else, but Giselle insisted on, you know, having the party at her house, which, as Karen and some of the other ladies pointed out, it's not really at her house. It's out in your front yard, off the broken driveway. I mean, there's a lot going on at her house, and I would think having people over would be an added danger. You know, the film crew, all the materials out in the front. Yeah, the tent was really beautiful. It was. She did a great job setting up the tent. I just don't think that I would have had the party there. She could have, you know, had it. She even made a point of saying in the episode that when Mia was saying something about Candace's video was low budget, Giselle said it surely wasn't high budget. Well, neither is this party out in your front yard, ma'am. I'm just saying, girl, you could have picked any park close to your house and threw that tent up. I mean, I don't know. Moving on. I'm feeling shady today too. Am I being reasonably shady? I'm just saying. Well, before everyone gets there, Giselle is eating all the food. Her kids are telling her how rude it is for you to eat up everything before the guests arrive. Her other daughter says, "Please chew with your mouth closed." I said, you know what? Why do her kids always have to get her together? Giselle, your kids are parenting you at this point. Ashley gets there and says that she sees the progress. You know, that Giselle has a vision. She just doesn't know what it is, and nobody does. Giselle makes some sort of comment about Karen's candles and being shady to Wendy. Well, Karen, first of all, her candle has 3 wicks. Wendy only has 1 wick, okay? It's in a very nice packaging though, but it's only got the 1 wick. And Karen says that her candles have been in product development for a year, okay? Leave Karen and her 3 wicks alone. I'm not gonna mention, maybe you should have had Everhue in some product development, because that would be shady. I don't know if it's reasonably shady, but you probably could have used some product development. Anyway.
Oh, some of the ladies cannot come in to use the bathroom.
So who was
on the list not to use the bathroom?
That would be Karen, and that would be you. The reason why is because you've talked about my home, so that's why I wasn't going to allow you in.
Your home? I've never
You
talked about your home.
Yes, you have.
I know I did. Okay, maybe it's me.
No, it was definitely you, but you know, we've hatched it out.
Wendy did. I've never talked about your home.
You have talked about the colors of my home.
And then talk about the color of your home.
Well, that's what I remember you did.
Well, you misheard because I never talked about your home. I talked about the way you dress.
Okay. Ooh.
So I appreciate Wendy very much because she said, I didn't talk about your house. I talked about the way you dress. Okay? I mean, everybody else talked about your house and the way that you dress, but I appreciate Wendy for being honest. She didn't talk about your house. She talked about those outfits. I'm just saying, I have no fashion sense. Whatever.
You were on the hater list. And
hating on this?
Robin and I talked about, you told Candace that Mia was talking about her. The wackiness was
during a production
Thank you.
day.
The time and
Were you
place.
trying to throw her off balance?
If you're not happy about what you said, then you shouldn't have said it.
No,
So
it's
if
not
you're
that I'm not happy. She told me that she told Candace.
Where are we, God?
I am getting lightheaded. The whole house looks like it could come to life and eat you up. I'm scared of it.
Personally, if I was Wendy, I would have just left. Nobody has time for this. Nobody has time for this. This whole situation was just absolutely ridiculous. I feel that this whole party was set up by Robin and Giselle just to try to bully and gaslight Wendy. Leave Wendy alone.
Did you notice how after she got Wendy and Mia arguing with each other, Giselle sat there and was eating her food? She was enjoying every second of it.
I agree with her. If you were really her friends, you would have just called her. You wouldn't have set it up so you could talk about her in front of all the group. You would not have had this party and brought up this reasonably or shady situation. Let it go. And then it pisses me off because they come for Wendy constantly. They're constantly coming for this woman, and then they want to get all upset and everybody's mad. Oh my gosh, when she claps back. You cannot compete with her when it comes to clapping back. So back up. Let it go. Leave it alone. And there was absolutely nothing reasonable about these questions. These questions were planned out to attack Karen and Wendy, period. Honey, listen, by the end of the evening, there was definitely a drive-by done at Giselle's house. Wendy, Candace, and Ascala, they drove by. Do you understand? They verbally pulled a drive-by on y'all's butts.
Not outside. This is not an invitation.
She felt like it wasn't an appropriate time, then she wouldn't have told me.
At that point, you're making it about you.
Please don't touch my shoulder again.
You were asking all the questions.
The only question I asked was, who's the manager and is he getting paid?
Okay, well, let's stop there. Why is it appropriate to ask my mom a question like that?
Because she's whack.
Your mom, okay, no one's talking to you,
she called
Wendy.
me whack.
I wanted to be there, but I wanted to show up to something that wasn't low budget, is what I wanted.
Your mama's low budget. Watch your mouth.
The group, so I don't think you should be that upset.
Were you there, beloved? Were you there?
No, but like I said,
End of story. Good night.
if I had wasted my time, I would have been a pissed sister.
Yeah, you are. You're a pissy sis is what you are.
No,
She's not happy.
You I don't take it.
Who else had things to say?
Karen was talking to your mama.
But why are you saying Karen's name before you say your name?
So you were all asking if my husband was on the payroll.
No, not this chick. Not this chick.
When these hoes was talking shit about you, I was defending your ass.
These hoes?
So how dare?
After cheating rumors about their husband emerges.
I bow out. We're doing this again? You have your own set of titties. Leave Wendy alone.
I think that's reasonable.
I mean, it will only be reasonable if the same blog that reported that didn't report that you had an STD.
You're doing too much. You're really
I'm doing too much.
You
If
are
I'm
doing
talking
way
like this.
too much.
Everybody.
What the hell? You're being an asshole, Wendy.
It was a long time. We were talking about her.
I'm not your child. Don't yell at me.
God. Oh my God.
I'm so done. All of y'all have my phone number. If anyone was truly concerned, you can call me. So let's not play the theatrics, because I'm not here for that shit today.
I don't.
Thank you.
But I'm confused.
I didn't say shit to your ass. It wasn't for your ass to receive. I don't say what I said to your ass in Williamsburg. I'm not
Wendy, why don't you go? We can back all these cars out and you can go, Wendy. I'm not gonna be disrespected in my house.
Girl, this really paints a picture of how you are. We are in the middle of your driveway. We ain't in your house. This is public property.
The question you guys asked was very offensive. And then when she comes back with, you know, what she's coming back with something, you can't be mad at her.
What is she, like the mediator?
I'm going to say what I want to say, Mia. Keep it cute over there, okay? Don't say stuff under your breath. Because I'm going to say what I have to say. If you want to call it
out loud.
Well, then be quiet, because I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to Giselle.
Can we take turns?
You can say yes, because that's what you're trying to do.
So I suggest you sit down and be quiet with your hoe ass.
Insecure bitches call the bitches hoes.
Especially when Escala had to handle Mia. But the point is, Robin and Giselle are just not nice people. They are not the kind of people that you want to hang out with and just be, you know, sort of playfully shady with. They're just nasty and rude. You know, don't act rude and disgusting towards Wendy and then expect her to just sit there and allow it. And I did enjoy production. Production did a great job of showing off Giselle's house. Every chance they got, they showed off Giselle's house, and Wendy went for the kill, and I appreciate it. And when Giselle made that comment of not being yelled at her house, and Karen said, "We're not at your house, we're in the driveway, it's public property." Now, I don't know if the driveway is public property, but that's technically true. We are in the driveway, we are not inside your house. Karen made this comment. I don't know what it was. She says it's due to her vaccine, that she was seeing things, everything sounded weird. I don't know if maybe she had a little fireball before she got the vaccine. I have no idea, because I've never seen anybody act like that with the vaccine. But she made this comment that Giselle's house looks like it could come to life and eat her up. I said, what is happening? I mean, this was so crazy, especially when Candace first got there. The way they were showing her walking from her car to Giselle's house, it was almost as if it was a horror film. It was so crazy. Bravo, you are shady. The editors at Bravo, I love you. When Karen pulled up, it was funny too, because when she got out and she saw that tent in Giselle's driveway, she said, "Are we COVID testing?" I don't think she even knew that that's where the party was. She thought they were all getting tested for COVID. Candace making that comment about Mia's mom, that was just trash. It really was. Candace says that she didn't know Mia's mom's backstory and she just went for a yo mama, you know, real quick. Stop it, Candace. Stop going for people's moms. You know what I mean? Just let it go. Now they've set it up. The housewives, they don't want you to talk about their kids. They don't want you to talk about their mamas. You can't talk about their husbands. Listen, talk about the weather. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Talk about the actual housewife and the weather. And then Ashley should not have jumped in, because Ashley was not even at the event. You weren't even invited. So you don't know exactly what happened, but at the same time, there you go, body shaming her again, talking about her wide body, her wide forehead. Stop that, Candace. That's not cute. It's not nice. It's actually disgusting. Cut the...
You always want to talk about somebody, but you ain't got nobody, but okay. Be there. Dre is going to be there. I don't know if Michael will be there. I would love for him to be there if he could. And Ray is going to be there. Eddie's going to be there. And your luggage is going to be there.
This was not an invite to your house. I feel disrespected.
I'm going to come back. I'll see y'all later.
What? Where are you going?
Send me video.
Okay.
This tour wasn't gonna work out. When there's like actual like stable steps, when there's a door, I'll come back.
Well, we couldn't go without one last drive-by. Wendy really lays it on, doesn't she? She is not letting go. She says, if you want to come for me, I'm going to come for you. And Candace, oh my gosh, when she said that Michael was coming, she said, I hope not. I mean, and then how disappointed as she was about this invite out into Giselle's driveway. And then Escala, Lord have mercy, she said, she cannot do this. Listen, those three ladies did not come to play. They are hilarious.
Anyway, peeps, there was so much going on in this episode. I can't stand these people. I love this show, though. The Potomac Housewives is one of my favorite franchises. These women are absolutely nuts, and I wish they'd get rid of Giselle, but his scenes were stuck with this woman. Speaking of getting rid of, I did notice that Cynthia finally came out and said that she's leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which of course we know that Bravo allows the housewives to tell their own story about their departure from the show. I actually truly believe that she was let go and fired. That's just my opinion. I don't know any full details. But get down in the comments, peeps. What did you think of this episode? Do you think Cynthia decided it was time to go and relinquish that huge paycheck? Or do you think that she was let go from the show? Anyway, you guys, let me know. Get in the comments. And until next time, bye.